This is RadioOnFire.com. Yours truly, Don McKay, in here. Thank you for joining me. It's the Don McKay Show. Weekdays, 9 a.m. Weekends, 3 p.m. Right here on RadioOnFire.com. So we're on the other side of this very powerful documentary and interview that followed. So we're gonna talk about it. Of course, HBO recently aired Leaving Neverland, a two-part documentary in which two men detailed allegations of childhood sexual abuse allegedly by Michael Jackson. So the network continued its Jackson coverage in a joint broadcast with an hour-long special, Oprah Winfrey Presents After Neverland, in which Oprah interviewed the two men, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, along with the director of Leaving Neverland, Dan Reed. So, let me say this. The amount of time that Michael Jackson, as a grown man, spent with children, mainly young boys, was strange. It alone does not mean he's guilty of the horrible things he is accused of in Leaving Neverland and After Neverland. It is just because he did some strange things, some things that are questionable moves, that alone doesn't make him guilty. So let me say that. I also have to note that director Dan Reed never speaks with anyone that has an opposing or different view of Michael Jackson or any different view from Robson or Safechuck. So in a documentary that levies the kind of allegations that Leaving Neverland does, the fact that they don't give you a whole picture, they don't talk to anybody from the Jackson family, they don't talk to any other kids at the time that were around Michael Jackson, they only talk to people in this mindset. That puts the credibility of the whole production in a very difficult slot. How fair is this? You know what I mean? So, let me say, a very powerful piece of propaganda aimed at the broader topic of child sexual abuse. Okay. The major question here, however, is, did Michael Jackson abuse anyone? We know that he abused drugs. That is sure. That's how he passed, right? Did he abuse these boys? They're now men. There were two allegations during Michael Jackson's lifetime, and two allegations have been made since he passed by the subjects of this documentary. Robson, specifically, who denied experiencing abuse during testimony in a 1993 child sex abuse case against Michael Jackson, that was later settled, that was filed by somebody else. At that time, Robson spoke in support of Michael Jackson. Funny how things change, right? So it is possible that at one time you looked at something one way and another time you looked at it differently. But you can't rewrite history. You can't rewrite history. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I've seen women who are in relationships, and when they're in a relationship, they love the guy. And then when they break up, they reevaluate things later, and they say, you know what? I never loved him. No, you did love him. now you don't, and you're trying to act like you never did. That's what I'm talking about rewriting history. Oprah asked a good question while the after Neverland was going on. Oprah asked, were you thinking about it as abuse then? Did you know you were being abused? And you were just defending Michael Jackson. So these leading questions are something I have a problem with, okay? Whether you knew it was abuse or you didn't know it was abuse, or whether you're 7 years old or 10 years old and your mind can't seem to comprehend what it is, all you have to do is say what happened. Don't worry about defining the word abuse or whether it was love or what Michael told you or any of this other foolishness that they allege. Now, and they allege some pretty strange things, okay? They allege now, as adults, they allege improper touching, just all types of things, right? Attempts at sex, oral, etc. That's what they say. These are some pretty bad things that they say. Now, Wade Robson responded that both times he testified in 93 and in 2005, made those claims. He had no understanding that what Michael did to him sexually was abuse. He had no concept of it being that. That's irrelevant. All you got to do is say what happened, and then people can decipher what it was. Therein lies one of the many challenges in credibility to these allegations. Either the men were lying previously or they're lying now. One of these things is a lie, and you can't justify it by saying, oh, at 7, I didn't understand what it was. In 2005, you knew what it was if something happened. But now all of a sudden, it's clear to you the definition of words. Right. Whatever you believe, the credibility of these accusers has to be questioned. From night one of the abuse, of the sexual stuff that Michael did to him, he claims that Michael told him it was for his love. It was because he loved him. This is what Robson said. He told me that he loved me and God brought us together. Anything Michael would say to me was gospel. These are words that he's saying. These allegations are very disturbing. If Michael Jackson did these things, it is truly disgusting. As I said, they made allegations of touching, oral, and what they call attempts at penetration. Attempts. Safe Chuck echoed a similar experience, coincidentally, and said there was a lot of panic in talking about Michael Jackson. He's scared. Michael drilled in you. If you're caught, we're caught. Your life is over. My life is over. It's repeated over and over again. It's drilled into your nervous system, he said. It takes a lot of work to sort through that. It doesn't take a lot of work to sort through the truth. It takes a lot of work to sort through lies. Are these lies? Because these two guys say it, does that make him a pedophile? Michael Jackson was around thousands and thousands of kids in his lifetime. So from 4, we're supposed to get everything we need to know about Michael Jackson from 4 kids. 2 of them that we know right now for many years have said the exact opposite of what they're saying right now. So after Michael Jackson passes, then it comes back to the kids. Now it comes back. They have cases that they have filed against Michael Jackson's estate that have been dismissed. thrown out. Get out of here with that. They're trying to appeal it because they want money. They are appealing these cases. They sued the Jackson estate for money. Let's make that clear. Is this documentary, an interview with Oprah Winfrey, something that they're trying to use in support of their appeals against the Jackson estate? The timing of this is very strange. When Oprah asked Robinson about his testimony, he reiterated, "I didn't think about it as far as that concept. I couldn't even go there. I couldn't even question Michael. If I was to question Michael and my story with Michael, my life with Michael, it would mean I would have to question everything in my life. It wasn't even an option to think about." It's very telling quote. You don't question anything. Them trying to paint Michael as some fearsome, fear-inducing figure is it's crazy. It's crazy. Oprah also asked whether they had forgiven Michael Jackson, their families, and even themselves. Forgiving yourself for what? What for lying? For covering up? Whatever. Sapechak confessed that he still feels guilt, even now, as if he somehow let Jackson down. You mean with the lies? Alleged? That shadow is still there. It's still there. It just creeps out. Michael Jackson we're talking about. Both guys are supposedly working on forgiving their families. Sapechak says he struggles with forgiving himself. And after thinking about it, Robinson said he has forgiven himself, which set off another round of applause from the audience. See, as I said in the previous broadcast, this audience is filled with real victims of assault. And they're looking at a performance on the stage. And they are using their real experiences, the audience, and placing it on these guys. Because these guys are lying, in my opinion. In the end, Oprah brought the conversation full circle to the broader topic of sexual abuse. And she tried to make it something that's not about Michael Jackson. She said this: "Don't let any person in your world make it just about what Michael Jackson did or didn't do. It's about this thing, this insidious pattern that's happening in our culture that we refuse to look at." Now, if it's not about Michael Jackson, why are we using Michael Jackson to promote these releases? Why not talk and give a full picture of what happened? Because this is about the lawsuit that these two guys are trying to appeal against Michael Jackson's estate. If it was really about child sexual abuse, why not have other people on there? Why not give a full picture? If you're going to accuse somebody of something, let them respond. And since he's not here to respond, let somebody else respond on his behalf. Nobody? Nothing? Interesting. Oprah knew that the backlash would come. She knew that. She was well aware of all the hate she would get from Michael Jackson fans for this interview. And she smiled. She laughed. She thought it was funny. Robinson and Sapechak, they didn't look at it the same way. So when the fans and the estate and all the anger you guys are going to get, you know that, right? Y'all going to get it. I'm going to get it. We're all going to get it, she said. smiling. The audience applauded. We're going to get it. So are you prepared for that? She asked them. He looked a little shook. But as I said, at this point, there's no evidence supporting what these bozos are saying. It's their words against Michael Jackson's. And unfortunately, MJ is not available for comment. So are we taking their word or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. I'll be here. RadioOnFire.com, weekdays 9 a.m., weekends 3 p.m. If you miss any episodes, RadioOnFire.com.